Hello, how are you doing? I'm Bill DeWeese, pro voiceover talent, voiceover career coach, and welcome to my video today in which I'm going to show you a couple of nifty editing tricks having to do with how to take care of breaths in recordings, not just the elimination of breaths, but how you treat the gaps that the deletion of the breath leaves, which is a whole other thing in and of itself. Before I do, though, I want to make you aware I've got a free webinar coming up for you. It will be on Wednesday, August the 12th, and this is 2020, and I'm calling it the 3 VO Wise Guys and Gal, in parentheses, because what's going to happen during this 1-hour webinar, 3 VO experts who recently conducted their own independent webinars dealing with various topics are going to be getting together for 1 hour. It's purely Q&A. It's my daughter, Mallory Hanford, who's absolutely crushing it on Fiverr. She's an expert in how to create a full-time living on Fiverr. Mike Hathcote, who's an expert in using social media to market your voiceover business. Keith Harris, who's going to be talking about how to use your current clients to actually increase the revenue of your voiceover business. Now, it's all Q&A, and it's only going to last about an hour, so we'll get in as many questions as we can, but it's absolutely free to you, so if you just go below in the description, click the link, get registered, we'll see you there. All right, so let's talk today about taking out breaths from audio, but beyond that, and I've done a video or two about that before, but I'll go through that briefly here. But beyond that, what do you do with that gap? All right, so first of all, what we need to do, I need to record some audio. So let me record a short little script here. Let's get Adobe Audition rolling, and we'll work with this here. A revolution is coming. It's a revolution that will forever change the way we see, study, and interact with pictures. A revolution that will allow us to see aspects of pictures from every angle imaginable. But where did it all start? Our story starts with a company formed 80 years ago by a man whose passion drove innovation in the field of visual communication. All right, so now we've got some audio to work with. Okay, and as you can see, if we kind of zoom in here, breath there, they're not huge, but they're there. And when I'm recording, as a rule of thumb, anything that's about 3 minutes or shorter, I try to take out all the breaths. The longer the narration, the less I worry about it. Commercials, I take them out completely. But first of all, let's take out the pre-talk there. There we just have a revolution is coming. Okay, so one of the easiest ways to deal with breaths is by covering it with room tone. Room tone is not silence. It's the sound of your studio, your space when you're not talking, when you're not even breathing. So what I'm going to do is record a few seconds of room tone here at the end of this file, and I will hold my breath as I do it. Here we go. Okay, and you have to remain absolutely silent and still when you do that. So what we've got here, it's about, minus 75 dB. Okay, so what I'm going to do is let's just grab, it's about a second's worth, just so I have it there. Okay, so what you can do is just go back where you've got a breath, and you can paste over it with room tone, and I can see here that's about 3/4 of a second. So it's going to take out, or I'm going to paste in more than I'm taking out. So what I'm going to do is with my I can't think of the word. You can see there where my mouse is at, right? The pointer, not the pointer, the cursor. Thank you. I'm going to put it there, kind of mark it so I know where it's at, so that when I paste my room tone, I can just delete the extra. So right now, this space is the same length as it was with the breath. So, with the breath, revolution is coming. Okay, it was subtle, but it's there. And then here, I'm just going to Control Z to oops. My bad. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste it, use my cursor to mark where that's at, delete the extra. Here's what it sounds like without it. Revolution is coming. It's a revolution. Okay, so it cleans it up a little bit. It takes out the breath. And if it's a bigger breath, it cleans it up even more. It's going to be noticeable to the degree of how loud that breath was before. But the point is now there's nothing there. Now, it's not silence. Silence draws attention to itself. It creates a vacuum. Room tone draws no attention to itself. It's transparent. That's why we want room tone. But this brings me to the second point, and that is that when you use room tone to paste over a breath, assuming it's the same length of room tone that was there, the gap between the phrases or the words or the sentences, it will be perceived to be... My daughter calling me on Skype. It will be perceived to be a longer gap because with the breath, you're actually hearing something in there, which makes the silence seem shorter. But when you take out the breath, now it seems like you're waiting longer for the next sentence to start. So what I do is I'll take about 15 to 25% of that space out in addition to that. So I'm just going to take that out. So now, revolution is coming. It's a revolution. So by using room tone, we're creating this, we're taking out the breath. So we're cleaning that up. And it's sounding transparent because we're using room tone. But by taking out 15 to 20%, this is just a rough estimate. You can play around with it until it sounds good to your ear. But by taking a little bit of that out of there, it takes out that perceived length of time that you're waiting for that next phrase or the next sentence to begin. Because again, the breath creates the perception that it's shorter. And when that's out of there, it becomes longer. So just a few tips to help you clean up and make your audio sound more professional, to make it more competitive for your auditions, because I do this in my auditions as well. Not only finished products, but I do it in auditions. Treat your auditions just like finished products, because that's what clients are listening for. They assume that what you give them in an audition is what they're going to get as a finished product. So I hope this was helpful. Put it into practice. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think and what happens. And don't forget to register for the upcoming 3 VO Wise Guys and Gal webinar coming up on Wednesday, August 12th, 2020. We'll talk to you then.